Warning, this video contains ultra evilness. Viewer discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the best car in the crew, the Lamborghini Gallardo LP578-4 Superleggera Performance Spec. I know a lot of you will be surprised by this choice, so I'm going to be giving you some help if you're finding it hard to be convinced, in the form of a series of tests. This car is bar none the fastest thing to get off the line that I've ever driven in the crew, in any game in that matter. It honestly feels like Han Solo as my passenger and he just engaged Lightspeed, because in the words of Boromir from the Lord of the Rings, one does not simply know how to sum up the speed and force of this thing. Well, I'm sure he said that. Another epic thing about the Gallardo that is extremely hard to talk about without grinning like a little kid is its handling. This is the point that convinced me to make the conclusion about the Lambo being the best car in the game. Yes, I know, speed is great most of the time, but every now and then we all want to tackle the corners of our favourite road or track, and this is where the Gallardo has everything else pretty much smashed and left battered and bruised in the game. Now I just want to say right now, I'm not saying that the other cars in the game don't handle well, but compared to the Superleggera, they're just dust in the wind. The reason why I think this way strangely comes down to the crew's handling model. As we all know, at first a lot of people were disappointed with the handling model in the game. It feels very twitchy at high speed, there's not much response when changing direction, and it actually feels like most of the cars understeer rather than making it clean around a bend. I also think there's actually a little bit of a delay in the steering. You turn left on the thumbstick and it takes about 0.5 of a second to properly turn the car. It should be immediate. And that's where the Gallardo comes in. I don't know if they just graced the car with its own unique handling model over at Ivory, but it doesn't feel like anything else I've driven in the game. It feels sharp, light and nimble, and can even pull off some impressive power slides without making you think, oh god, I am gonna die. That's what most of the other supercars do in the game. So on the handling front, it scores a grade A+ from me. Apart from being batshit bonkers, Lamborghini is most famous for these features of its vehicles. Take the Miura for example, the car that many say was the founder of the supercar game. That car was so ahead of its time back in the 1960s, with its bullhorn style doors, its low slung, drop dead gorgeous GT outlines, etc, etc, etc. The V12 engine in the Miura was also another key feature of Lamborghini. It was so epic that Lamborghini continued to use it in their higher end cars right up to the death of the Murcielago with the SV. The Gallardo on the other hand is most famous for its high revving 5.2 litre V8, which just screams bloody murder everywhere it goes. Now getting to my version of the car. As soon as I took it into the shop and modified it, I knew that I had something very special in my grasp. You want blood? You got it. Because this thing will tear apart its victims like the deadliest king cobra out there. Its custom front bumper and hood comes straight from its bigger brother, the Veneno. The rear end and spoiler have been passed down from the special edition Gallardo Super Trofeo Stradale, or STS for short. The iconic Superleggera stripe obviously makes its appearance, but the cherry on the top of the cake, or in this case, the stripe on top of the car, is reminiscent of the legendary Gallardo Balboni. She's just a venom dripping, dark devil. Now hopefully you understand my liking for this black magic monster. She's one hell of a fighting bull. She minds her own business, but if you show her red, she'll eradicate anything in her path. Is this the best car in the crew? You bet your ass it is.